Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload many videos for Pisces and Virgo on Saturdays. Also, for those of you guys who are interested, the deck that I'm using today is called the Solo Busca Tarot. And as always, if you're interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. Also, generally I really only take jumpers, cards that jump out like that one has, but this deck is a little bit larger, so sometimes it takes a little more time to get cards to jump out. If I need to pull them, I will, but usually when they flip over in the deck, I won't take them. But the goal here is to get you guys about 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading with your general energy. Alright, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to remind you guys that if you enjoy the readings, please leave a like or a comment. It's the best way for me to know if the readings resonate with you guys. But that being said, your overall energy here is the Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands to me usually means a message of some kind of a passion, right? So I feel like you guys are going to see a lot of improvement. I feel like a lot of you guys have been really blue, maybe down in the dumps lately, and I feel like this Page of Wands is really going to serve to sort of light that fire under you. I think that for a lot of you guys it might have to do with work. So I feel like you guys might feel like you're stuck in a job that you really don't necessarily have a whole lot of passion for, and once you see this message coming forth of the page, you're going to be in some kind of a position that allows you to basically be a little bit more passionate and something that you really truly care about. I also see like some kind of a side hustle with like a passion project or something like that. But I feel like another big message that a lot of you are going to receive is some kind of a message in love. With the Page of Wands, there is the concern that this person is a little bit flighty and a little bit not consistent, which I feel like you're not necessarily looking for right now. It just something that you should really, be on the lookout for. Like, is this person really coming forth authentically or not? But we have the Moon card here, and the Moon card is, I feel like, a really good sign because the Moon card has the astrological sign of Pisces attached to it. So I feel like you guys are really in your energy right now, right? You guys are feeling very dreamy, very imaginative, very creative. You're really in touch with your emotions right now. And I feel like that's a really good thing because, like I said before, you guys have been feeling really out of whack lately, and that'll only help to sort of ground you guys. And I really like that you have the High Priestess here in conjunction with the Moon card, because the Moon card is already a very psychically charged card and very intuitively powerful, but to have the High Priestess, which is basically the card of intuition, connected to that, it makes me feel like you guys really have a good understanding of what's going on at this point. If you had been left in the dark, because sometimes the Moon card can point us towards secrets as well, I feel like at this point, like, nothing is a secret to you. You know what cards are on the table and you know what cards everyone has. So now you're just dealing with you're rolling with the punches the best way you can. And I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like you're in a good position because you have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is you know, the lying, cheating, stealing card, but you have it in reverse. So I feel like somebody's coming clean. I feel like somebody in the past may have told, and especially since the Seven of Swords is in reverse, it may have been like a white lie of some kind, or a lie with the intention of not hurting you. And I feel like even though that was their intention, they did end up hurting you just by the very virtue of them lying or concealing the truth from you. But I feel like now they're sort of coming clean, and they're like, hey, look, these are what my intentions were. I never meant to do this. I never meant to do that. Like, let's just talk about this, and let's have a clean slate, honestly. And even though I don't see, like, the Ace of Swords or anything like that, I feel like there isn't a whole lot of energy here to imply a beginning, but it kind of feels like a beginning, even though it's like a continuation. Also, I looked at the timer on the recording, and it was at 5:55, so you guys might be seeing synchronicities as well. But here with the Magician card, I feel like you guys are really powerfully manifesting, right? And I also want to point out the fact that we have the Magician going into the High Priestess. So that's 1 going into 2, so I'm getting like progression for a lot of you guys. But also, before I move on, I want to point out that we have the 5 of Cups as well as the 5 of Swords, and I just saw the 555 on the recording on the timer, so I feel like a lot of you guys are seeing the number 5. But like I was saying, I do think it's important to point out that this High Priestess and that this Magician are looking away from each other. So I feel like maybe perhaps you're the High Priestess and the other person is the Magician, very powerfully manifesting things. And I feel like they're really manifesting this conversation where they're sort of honest, and it almost looks like this person is certainly walking away. This person is almost like staying put, but it feels like this person has walked away, and perhaps now they're coming clean with the fact that they are, or maybe they're coming clean with the fact that they have. Perhaps they like ghosted you in some way, but I'm definitely getting that there is sort of this energy of another person who wants to come clean. And it's very interesting because we have the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords here, like I said, in the same column. Now, the 5 of Cups talks about disappointment a lot of the times. It talks about even like pain or sadness. And it's very interesting because usually there's this depiction of like having 2 cups left. So it's sort of like, oh, well, look on the bright side. You have these 2 energies left. Even though you don't have more than half, but look on the bright side. But the fact that it's in reverse, it almost leads me to believe that you guys are having a hard time looking at the bright side. And it's very interesting because I'm getting almost the energy of like, things aren't as bad as you feel them to be. And even though that's the case, like you're looking for the silver lining and it's hard to do it, which is very interesting because I feel like even though you have this, your intuition on point here on this side, it's like everything that is happening is a lot more amplified for you. Like things hurt more than perhaps other people perceive them. And I'm looking at this Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords a lot of times is immature emotionally and is very detached and very airheadish. So I feel like this person is very emotionally immature, and I feel like as a result, that's probably what led to the lying in the first place, or this sort of mistruth or miscommunications. And they've had some kind of change of heart, and that's why there's the Magician here. But the Magician is very charming, very smart in a lot of ways, very definitely able to work with the energy that he has, and able to create sort of even like conjure things out of nowhere. So it's very interesting that we have this pain of like conflict and disappointment. It's almost like perhaps this person sort of took something from you, either metaphorically or physically, and now they've sort of left the scene of the crime almost. And I'm looking at this 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords talks about conflict and arguments, a lot of times petty arguments. So it's almost like they want to come forth here, and they're almost like expecting you to be in the 5 of Cups energy. And I feel like some of you may be, but for like the vast majority of you, very strong in your power. Like I said, this person is staying put. So I feel like they're really expecting you to act a certain way, and you're catching them completely off guard by how like strong you are and how like in your energy you are with this moon card. And that sort of leads to this conflict. And I feel like it's a lot of he said, she said, and a lot of, well, you said this, but I meant this, and whatever, and you misunderstood. And I feel like that's happening as a result of this Page of Swords and Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is very passionate, but at the same time emotional. Those are fire signs energy, and fire signs tend to have that energy of like very passionate, very explosive, whereas this person is very emotionally immature. So I feel like combining those two energies, and you know, because we have this Seven of Swords and this like Magician card with these conflict cards, and it almost looks like the Magician is walking towards the conflict, I feel like these pages are the person that wants to come forth, and they're not necessarily in a positive energy. And with that energy combined, we have here the Tower card. So the Tower card, in one way or another, brings down something that isn't meant to be standing. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're going to see a lot of transformation coming up. Usually when we see the Tower card, it's because there's some structure that we've built in our life that doesn't, or like never did or no longer benefits us, and as a result it needs to come crashing down in order for us to build something in its place that is much more beneficial to us, right? This happens because we build things on a faulty foundation. So I feel like whatever it is that you built on a faulty foundation is going to sort of make way for something else that's a lot more powerful and a lot more healthy for you and a lot more beneficial for you. And I feel like part of you already knows because you have your intuition so on point right now, but also a part of you knows that it's going to be painful, and it's the same part of you that's very intuitive. But you know, there's difficult times coming up ahead, I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel like with this Tower card, you guys are going to see a lot of success. You guys are going to see a lot of powerful, uplifting moments after the Tower card. And I feel like having that space open in your life is also going to give you sort of clarity and peace of mind, in the sense that you're going to feel like something was lifted off of your chest almost. And I feel like whatever you choose to decide to build in the place of those habits or patterns that don't serve you any longer is going to be so much more powerful and so much more beneficial for you. And I feel like you're going to be very proud of your hard work in the long run. It's just now that there's a lot of pain associated with what's going on. But that was your reading first time around, Pisces. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Pisces videos on Saturdays, but in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.